welcome everyone to this brand new customer interview, and we have one of our clients, Romit, here. He's been literally part of us since like what? It's been a year, 2 years.
A year and a half. Yeah, almost 2 years now.
Yeah, man. And we were just discussing just before this, interview that we literally have started considering each other as family now. So, Romit, I'm just not going to bore anyone. I'm just going to let you take over. Just tell everyone a little bit about your intro, man, your background, and how did you get into this digital field in the first place?
Okay, so basically, academically, I'm a chartered accountant. I invested 6 years of my life in pursuing a degree that had no meaning in my life later on. And long story short, I basically made a transition from being a chartered accountant and working in a desk job to exploring opportunities while I could and taking those risks, like moving into sales and marketing, up to the point where I even co-founded a startup that failed. And I always knew in the back of my mind that entrepreneurship was always going to be a reality that I wanted to create, and not just entrepreneurship but digitally. Like I was inspired by seeing the revolution and evolution of people making money online, and I was always fascinated by the fact that why can't I do it? Because according to me, I was smart enough. I'm a CA, so why can't I figure this stuff out? And that's when I started like going down the rabbit hole, in 2018, and started understanding funnels and ads and all the bells and whistles and that just kept drawing me towards that fascination. Just got stronger because when you're inclined and interested in something, then you don't need someone to convince you to dive deeper into it. And that's actually when the journey began in 2019, when I decided that, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to become a coach. I essentially wanted to have my own online business,
Right.
because I'm just sick and tired of working for someone else. I was never a good fit to work with someone. If I was, it didn't last long enough also.
Right.
So I realized that, the only person I'm going to work for is myself, period. And I need to figure out a way how to do it. So it wasn't easy, to be honest, because there was a lot of struggle when you leave CA and then you have to start from the bottom. And I was abroad, and I was, working in sales, which was offline sales. And then I moved to online sales, which was e-commerce. And then I moved to co-founding a startup, which had nothing to do with digital marketing. And then I realized, like if I keep bouncing from one idea to the next idea, I'm growing old. I need to figure my stuff out, and I need to do it now. And when I think once you're ready mentally and you set the intention, then the opportunities find themselves towards you. And that's when the shift happened. That's when the opportunities came, and that's when the journey really began in 2019. I was reading a lot of books, but I wasn't really taking action. So while I was working in my job in the USA, I was reading about affiliate marketing, digital marketing. So I was always connected to what was happening in the industry since Y2K, and the dot-com burst and everything, and really inclined by what Steve Jobs was doing, and really inclined by what Jeff Bezos was doing. So that inclination towards entrepreneurship was fascinating to me. It was like a whole different world I wanted to be a part of. However, back then the opportunities weren't as they are today, and when the opportunities became more accessible for people like us, that's when I decided, this is it. I'm going to grab it, and I'm going to see where it takes me. And I took that leap of faith, and this is where I am today.
Wow, man. And just before I get deeper into this, I just want to point out something, for anybody watching this. People say that, he's an overnight success, or anybody is an overnight success. But if you really look at it, the business that Romit is doing now, before doing this, he had to do all these things. He had to go through all these ups and downs in order to be where he is. And I think that's a very important fact that we must consider. And I personally believe, Romit, if you wouldn't have done those things and if you wouldn't have failed at those things, you wouldn't have achieved what you did today. So I think they were all kind of like learning lessons, right?
Yeah, if you make failure your friend, you'll go a long way.
Yeah.
As long as you don't fail in the same thing twice.
Yeah, very true. Very true. Cool. So, bro, tell me something that how did you get into this digital coaching domain? Out of considering that there are so many businesses and you were reading about affiliate marketing and all that, why did you get into this coaching space?
So because I was fascinated by the idea of making money online, and I had some basic understanding of affiliate marketing, that this is how I can make money. I can create my online course, I can sell it through a webinar, and this is what I need to learn, this is what I need to do. So that's when the journey really began. And I remember at that time I was still working as a co-founder in my startup, but simultaneously I was going through the lessons and the courses and everything, and consuming all that information and knowledge. And in the starting phase is all exciting because you don't know what you don't know, and when you surrender to the process of learning with 100% enthusiasm, then you grasp and absorb everything at a quicker rate. And I started building my courses. Now the irony was that I was building my courses around teaching people how to build an online business without having prior experience myself. Right? But at that time, what I was told to do was what I was doing. Create a course around the subject, identify your niche, where you want to help others. And I was just modeling my mentor at that time.
Right.
So I didn't have a benchmark to know what was right and what was wrong. I was just following blinders on, mentor, 100%. And I invested, money and time, build out a website, tools like ClickFunnels, GetResponse, all the fancy stuff. Because
how do you get the money for all that stuff?
So great question. So basically, I basically took some help from my uncle. I told him that I really want to do this, and he was very supportive. And he basically funded the initial, 6-7 months, so that gave me that capital that was required to really invest in those tools and everything. Without that, it would have been very, very difficult, of course. But luckily, I had that, upper hand on me. He here, take this and make the most out of it. But however, a lot of that money went down the drain because I was just investing in things that I actually didn't need, and nevertheless, I did my first webinar. I scheduled it for May 11, 2019. I remember very clearly. It was organically marketed, and when it's organically marketed, your friends and your family support you, and then there are some who actually show up and attend. And I had 11 people who showed up for the webinar, which wasn't much, but what happened is that I had 2 people who closed, and I got sales worth, like 10,000 rupees.
Nice.
When that happened in my first webinar, it shifted everything. And I was like, I just made money online sitting at home, on a Sunday morning. Like that time, it just felt like the most epic 10,000 rupees ever of my life.
I can imagine.
That gave me that confidence and conviction that let's keep going forward. So that's how the process came into play, where I built a foundation, and I said, let me do webinars, because that was the only way I knew, right? And I was just following what was required. But what happened after that was what most people experience nowadays with webinars, especially with the surge of webinars. What happened with me as well, when I started to realize, there's low show-up rates and low conversions and a lot of frustration, a lot of struggle, and the money that I had raised as capital was, slowly drying out, putting me in a state of, debt, basically. And once you get a credit card, then, basically, how it works, right? You get caught up in that loop of interest on interest and interest. So I was trying to be optimistic and positive in the whole process. And it really plays a huge role, it really affects your mental health when things aren't going your way. Some webinars will be good, some won't be good. That inconsistency really plays especially impacts you in a way which you're not accustomed to before. Because when you're someone who comes from a job background where you're getting a salary every month, and then also co-founding a failed startup which also doesn't put much money in your pocket, then your relationship with money is very unstable. And that when it happens even more in your business, then that causes more instability in your own mindset, and then you go through these phases of roller coaster. That's why they say entrepreneurship is the most lonely journey, especially when you're starting, because that's when you know whether you're actually in it or you're just fooling around. And I did webinars for a good 5-6 months, and it's not that I didn't make money. I did make money, but I wasn't really profitable. It was either breaking because the ad cost and the webinars, I was charging 2,000 rupees, 5,000 rupees, and that was basically my advertising cost. So it was just about trying to figure stuff out on my own.
You didn't have upsells?
I did have an upsell, but the number of getting people to buy the upsell, was another task altogether. And it
Right.
really became a point where I felt like I was, there was a desperation that was lurking. And I said, I don't know, this is not the kind of person I want to be where I'm dependent on someone to move up to level two. And that desperation is something that is transparent. Right? So
Right.
it came to the point where I was like desperate, like, why aren't people moving up to level two? Why are people not converting? Why are people not showing up? Spending so much money. So it's very difficult to make rational decisions when you're experiencing, that hardship
Hmm.
of trying to just get your stuff in place. It's
Mm-hmm.
very difficult to make rational decisions, and again at the same time, you're seeing other people doing phenomenally well, and then that imposter syndrome kicks in
Mm-hmm.
majorly.
Right.
And then practically, once you let that take over, then you're screwed. Then you're going through your own, roller coaster ride in your brain. And that's what happened in the initial 6 months. So it started off really well, made money. And in fact, what most people don't know is that to supplement my revenue, I started designing 3D box covers.
Wow.
I
Like a side
actually,
hustle, right?
yeah, side hustle.
Hmm.
And because I did it for myself, my own course, and I said, I figured out how to do it, a little bit of Photoshop, a little bit of Canva. And I had a lot of people who were in that, community that I was a part of that needed help with it. And they saw my course, they loved the design. I said, okay, I can do it for you. So I started charging like $850 per cover. And in a span of, I'm not kidding, in a span of 3 months, I made a lakh just by doing 3D box covers. And that actually helped a lot financially. Like, so that was another struggle altogether. Like, in my mind, I couldn't believe that I was actually doing that when the intention was to do something bigger. I
Yeah.
was like, I'm designing 3D box covers, but you know what? So what? Money is coming in. I'm sustaining. I'm still standing. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, I'm
True.
not giving up. So I got to do whatever it takes to keep surviving in this, because the first 1 year, as they say, is the most crucial. That's when 96% people or businesses fail.
Exactly.
So I didn't give myself that choice. I wanted to be a part of the 4% regardless.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Got it, man. Like, so to summarize, you were doing webinars and, even though you were running ads, you were breaking even. But I think it put you in a loss position because of the other softwares or other things that you had. Is that correct?
Absolutely. Those
All right.
tools and systems can really, that was like an extra 20,000 rupees a month.
Right.
And at that time, I didn't know better.
Hmm.
Like, I didn't know a lot of things that could have saved me a lot of money.
Did you know
But
designing, like website development and WordPress and all that stuff?
I actually did design a website on WordPress,
Hmm.
but I was still using ClickFunnels
Hmm.
because that is what I was taught to do.
Hmm.
And I thought that spending $97 a month, if that is, that was so normalized in the way it was told that I said, okay, if this is what's required, then this is what's required. And then when you realize that you've been spending $97 a month every month for one landing page,
Right.
it's unfathomable. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
These overheads really creep into your profitability. So
Yeah.
I didn't really see any real profit, to be honest.
Got it, man. Cool. So that happened and you were doing those webinars. Then what happened, man? Like, how did you transition further into your coaching career?
So then basically I got married in December 2019. So I took a small break. And basically then it came to the point where I said, you know what, I'm in a situation. If I continue doing what I'm doing, I'm gonna be screwed,
Hmm.
and I would have to consider a plan B. But there has to be a better way. And I think when you set that intention, then again, like I said earlier, the opportunity presents itself, and that's when I was presented with U-ability, right? And then it gave me that confidence when I saw your video and I said, oh, there's an opportunity to book a call with this guy. That's so cool. That's so unique. I can get all my answers from this guy and not have to become a client, you know? And I think that's when we had our chat. I think it was December 2019 or Jan
Yeah.
2020, but it was in that phase. And that conversation was at a point where, at that point, like whatever you were charging for your ability was like, I don't have that money.
Hmm.
So, because everything was in alignment, right, and there was no reason for me to not take the next step. I remember telling my wife that this just feels right.
Hmm.
This is going to be the one that launches the
You.
business into a different dimension. And that's when I had a, thank God for credit cards, right? So I said, you know what, I don't have the money right now, but the bank does. Let's
Put
put
it
it
on
on the credit
EMI.
card and put it on EMI and let's get started.
Hmm.
And yeah, that's how the transition happened from doing live webinars to understanding how to really do things in business.
Got it. Bro, tell me something. Like at that point of time when we had that conversation, I think it was January only. Um, did you come with an intention to actually, buy this, or what was your opinion at that point of time? And the other thing is, within one call, according to you, considering that you were accustomed to a certain kind of system, and there's nothing wrong with that system, but you were accustomed in certain way which didn't work for you, right? And you had like all these beliefs regarding how to do this particular business in this particular way. So my question is, how did in one call you really shifted your beliefs towards like this new thing which like a random young kid on the phone just told you about? Like, how did that happen?
It's the way you control the conversation. It's as simple as that. There was no ulterior motive, there was no hidden agenda. It was very clear, and there was an alignment that had no shades of gray. It was as clear as crystal, and it was exactly what I was looking for. So the way you communicated, asked the right questions, and helped me understand what is possible with your ability, gave me that sense of conviction and confidence, regardless of your age. Like, I don't think that ever made a difference to me. But it was just how you delivered the conversation in a way. And that time, Zoom wasn't really normalized. It was a phone call, if you
Yeah.
remember,
Mm-hmm.
right? So on a phone call, speaking to a young kid,
Mm-hmm.
and so it was a really great conversation, because the point of the matter, and this is what I'm doing today also, is that even on any call that I have, whether it's a Zoom, mostly it's Zoom, it's all about having a conversation and understanding if the person is the right fit for what you have to offer or not.
Exactly.
There's really no element of I'm trying to sell you.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about, like, if you've got a problem, then this conversation is to decide whether I have the capability to solve that problem for you or not.
Right.
Simple, right? So it's as simple as that. And that's exactly how you took the conversation, and it just made sense. So it was clear. I knew exactly what I was getting. I knew exactly what was involved, and I knew exactly why I needed it at that point in time in my life. And that's when I made the decision. You know.
Right. Okay, so that was like in terms of like how I controlled the conversation. But what about the words that I was saying? Like, telling you to shift your entire business model. Like that, I'm sure that's what I told you on the call, right? Changing your niche and every single thing. I think like we pretty much like tore up everything that you were doing, and we said that okay, you have to do it this other way. So how did
Yeah.
you believe that, oh, you know what, this is the way and this way is correct and I should probably change my business? Because a lot of business owners, man, like they are very rigid, right? They would be like, dude, I'm doing it in a particular way. Why should I like change it? So why did you do that? Or how did you do that?
So now it's coming back to me. The conversation helped me understand what I was doing and why it wasn't working. And you even told me very boldly that that in the next 1 year, the webinars are going to turn into a fish market.
Yeah, it
You
did
know,
happen.
very,
I predicted.
yeah, I should also come to you for stock market advice. But the point of the matter is that you explained to me, like, you explained to me really well what was going to happen if I continued on the path I was on, and how, following the U-ability, the high ticket funnel is going to be a path that has helped already so many people, and how it's going to transform things for me. So that, see, because I was already frustrated with the webinars, and it was, for me, I was open to looking for an alternative. That's what I said earlier. I was looking for a better way because I believed that there was a better way. And when you presented the better way to me, it it immediately replaced the existing belief system, because I was already convinced that I don't want to do a live webinar anymore. I don't want to put up a show and act as a performer for 90 minutes, and then depend on my entire business for that 1 week's performance. No, I want to speak to real people and offer my solution and see if they're a right fit for it and then deliver my transformation to them. Like it was very clear and very simple and straightforward. So it wasn't really difficult for me to make that leap because I was already convinced that I don't want to do this anymore. And see, there are two kinds of people. One, they either are moving towards pleasure or the other, they are escaping the pain. So I was escaping the pain. And when you showed me the better way, it was I didn't need to be convinced. I already embraced it as this is what I'm going to be doing henceforth. I'm not going to be looking back. So that was the process you took me through on the call itself by showing me that if I continued on the path that I was, then it would only get worse, and that would obviously put me in a situation where I would have to reconsider my business. And then you showed me the possibility of how I could take my business to the next level, and then that's what I believed in more. So that's the path I took forward.
Got it, man. And I think like what we are about to talk next is like there was another interesting, change of events that happened when you joined Uability, because you again changed your business, and which is what actually kickstarted things for you. We'll get into that. But so Romit, you joined the program, you paid the money. Talk to me about your initial months. Like what happened from like being starting out from like that webinar model to signing your first high ticket client. What happened, and talk to me about that journey of yours.
So it was really interesting is the fact that I was really excited about when I joined the program. I was really excited about going through the course, the content, and the different weeks, starting with the mindset. And I was really invested, not just financially but mentally, because I knew that this is it, right? So it all boils down to not just making the payment and feeling good about it, but actually taking action and going through the content. That's what defines your result and your output in your business. And when I started going through and started applying, I started building out my funnel. I started building out basically just word for word copying and modeling more so everything. And to be honest, like I said, I didn't really I was still financially not really comfortable in the situation that I was in, so much so that I had to borrow money to run ads. Right, and I remember that I borrowed like 20,000 rupees to run ads in the month of February, and I said, this is it. Prayed to all the gods and the universe, and I said, this is it. I'm going all in. And then in that month of February, I made 1 lakh.
Nice.
So that was like a 5x ROI, and I was like, and not just that, but the the belief system of why will someone pay me money at the end of a phone conversation? That belief was broken when somebody paid me money at the end of the phone conversation. It was 15,000 rupees. And that was like, I had tears in my eyes. I think you also remember the post I shared in the group saying I've got tears of joy. I just closed my first client. And I think once the rubber band is stretched, then it'll never regain its original dimensions, right? So it was all about then rinsing, repeating, that whole process. And February was like, what? I actually made a healthy profit. Like I can actually like pay off my debts.
Right.
That was the most amazing experience, and because more importantly, it was like knowing a path and having a system where I won't have to do live webinars again, and offer low ticket, 3,000, 5,000, and that was just really amazing to see come to life. So yeah.
Got it. Cool, man. So you ended up doing that coaching thing, and then you started like, I think we started having like this conversation after that. That things again, even though like they were great from marketing and sales perspective, you were kind of struggling on the delivery side, and you were like, thinking about what to do next. Like, how do you scale this? Like, because I remember telling you that, oh yeah, you should just raise your prices or just scale this. Like, why aren't you doing it? But there was still something holding you back. So then what exactly happened during that time, and how did you end up then pivoting your business even more?
So I basically was attracting employees towards, building an online business. And even though I was getting clients, however, there was a lot of resistance between them actually taking action. Like there wasn't that they weren't as invested as they should have been in creating an alternative income and making the transition from employee to entrepreneurship. It takes a lot of grit, takes a lot of commitment, to be honest, and a lot of them are in their comfort zone. Okay, it's natural. It's not their fault because they are accustomed to working 8 hours every day, and and I worked really hard on delivering the solution, delivering the content, supporting them, helping them. Like they will, like the amount of support that I give is not limited to, oh, I'm busy, or I was always there, always
Right.
supporting, always answering questions regardless of the time, because that was the kind of ecosystem I wanted to create. However, what I realized was that when people understand, they appreciate you, they share testimonials for you on your page, but then they're not taking action on their
Right.
own to get the results, then that makes me wonder, like, am I, like, what right do I have to charge more if I'm not even getting the right people to take the right action?
Right.
I don't want the money, I want the results. And even the results that were there, like they were very minimal compared to the magnitude of people that were there as a client of mine. So that's when I realized that I need to, I can't keep doing this because the level of fulfillment started to decrease, right? And then I was just like looking at a different way for me to change what I'm doing or make it better. And I think it was in the month of, I think, August last year, exactly a year back. That's when that trend started, 5-day workshops. And I said, hey, this is interesting. Like, let's give this a shot. And then I understood how to do that. And I said, you know what, let me create a 5-day workshop focusing on the mindset, employee to entrepreneur. And the reason why I went with employee to entrepreneur is because I was that person. I went from being an employee to being an entrepreneur. So I said, it's my authentic story, and that's what's going to inspire people to do the same. But again, I did this 5-day workshop for a month, entire 1 month, and I even in that process, the response was really good, no doubt, a lot of testimonials, everything was good, people appreciated it. And that's when I revisited doing a live webinar on the 5th day. Right? I said, you know what, it's been a while, this is what the 5-day workshop demands, you to do a live webinar. You've done it before, so no problemo, let's do it again. And I was still offering my coaching program at 15,000. But then I realized that, and the first one I did was a live webinar where I offered it for 15,000, and obviously nobody bought. But then after that I realized that, let me, after 5 days, see if I invite them to book a call with me, and then would the conversion rate be higher? So that's when I even increased my price from 15 to 25,000. I increased it to 25,000, and what I realized is that the overall cost of advertising and revenue was not different from not doing the 5-day workshop. Like if I took two models and one is the high ticket system and the other is the 5-day workshop and then the high ticket offer, the difference in the profitability was really not much.
Right.
So why put in all this effort in the 5-day workshop and engage and nurture and charge low ticket and then go through all that process when I can avoid my time being consumed like that and just focus on speaking to people and closing those clients. So that's when I did the workshop for a month, and then I realized that that now I have social proof in terms of the experience that I know how to do this. And I think that's when it was around about August, September, so till October I did that. And that's I think when I got the opportunity. I think it was in the month of November when someone approached me and said that can you be a consultant? Right, that's when that idea of consultancy got seeded. And that's when I saw that, somebody actually wants to hire me as a consultant to help them sell their 5-day workshop and help them consult with their Facebook ads and with their funnel and with their email marketing. And I said, for me it was a pat on the back. Like I reached a point where somebody senior to me with a much more larger organization wants me to consult them. So I was like, let's do this. I mean, I'm not going to say no to an opportunity like that. So, and also before that, like the coaching was very, it was stuck at a certain level. It wasn't growing. It was averaging at, 80,000, 90,000, some months would be 1.4, right? So it was just there. But that fulfillment wasn't there because at the end of the day, I want people to apply what I teach them and get results. That's it. That's the basics the basic intention. There's no rocket science there. If you're spending time, if you're investing in me and you're showing up and you're learning, but you're not taking action, then what can I do to help and support you? Like, that was always the concern. But you can only, you can only walk halfway, right? You can't expect to take the water to the horse and be like, hey, drink it. So I think when I took up the consultancy project in the month of December, that's when it opened up avenues of consultancy. And because I was like, I have so much knowledge right now. I've done webinars, I've done 5-day workshops, I've done the high ticket. So I had, and these are the top 3 funnels that were really functioning, at that point in time. So I said, let's give this a shot and see how I can act as a consultant. And that particular project went really well. They made a lot of money. I got a really great testimonial. And that's when I started exploring consultancy projects. I remember having a call with you also in Jan this year, and you told me specifically that focus on organically getting clients where either it's consultancy or it's done for you. Because what had happened, the most important part that I want to share over here is that the way I started my journey, if I could go back and start it again, I would do it completely differently.
Exactly.
I would first get the real experience, real results, and then make it my own and then offer it. Right? I had to go the other way around, where I was modeling someone else and pitching that in my own version, and it wasn't really the right way to go about it, and it wasn't my fault because I didn't know better. And then by the time I knew better, already that time had been gone, and money had been invested, and things would have been different. But then again, it's my story, it's my struggle, it's authentic and unique to me, and I'm proud of whatever it is that I've been through, because I'm still standing strong and I'm still here, in front of you. So in January this year, that's when the shift started to happen, as to look at how can we, get that experience of working with clients to get them results. Instead of teaching students how to, build an online business, it was more about, okay, how can I leverage my marketing skills to
help business owners?
Yeah, so that's what the shift happened this year in the month of Jan.
Got it. I mean, I think that's a very valuable point, man, and that's the reason, anybody who asks us, hey, can we start a course, or Rohan, I just want to learn how to start a course, and I'm like, dude, first learn and gain the experience. And I think that is something that's very important. You have to do it. Just don't get into the idea that if somebody says that you could sell online courses and make a lot of money, you'll actually have to deliver them results, and if you don't know what you're doing, it'll probably not work out. So I think that's a very valuable point, man. So Romit, then how's this done for you stuff going for you now? Like what's happening and what's the latest update?
Okay, so basically, in the month of January, I said, like I wanna focus on providing these services, but I wanted to focus on the high ticket more, because that's what I had done for an entire year in 2020. So I said, if I've done this for myself, I know how to build it for someone using the right tools, and more important than all, copywriting, like how to really represent someone in the best possible way, where it positions them as an expert, a trusted authority, and gets people to know, like, and trust them. So I said copywriting was basically what I was mostly interested in, and Facebook ads. These were my 2 major passions. And obviously I knew how to build a funnel. By then I had worked with WordPress quite a lot. So that's when I said, let me go and organically just see if I can find a client. And that's when I actually got my client organically, where I built the entire high ticket system for them, and they got their first client as well out of the entire project. And I was really happy, because I wanted to get that proof of concept, and I wanted to do it organically before I went hardcore with Facebook ads and everything. And once I had the proof of concept that I have not only done it for myself, right, I have also done it for a client, then that's when in the month of May, I started looking at, okay, what can I really, how do I customize my offer so well that it attracts the attention of the right people, and that's when I said, this is what I'm going to offer. I'm going to build someone's high ticket funnel. I'm going to integrate all the systems. More importantly, I'm going to focus on representing them in the best possible way and helping them understand what their niche should be, refining their offer, crafting their VSL, their video sales letter, their masterclass training, whatever it is, and then running ads. So it was a complete done for you service. And it wasn't just me acting as an agency professional, but me, like, because many agency people out there, they don't have prior coaching experience, right? But here I came with real coaching experience, real struggle and real experience. And I had an understanding of what worked with Facebook ads, how copywriting is done, how to build a funnel. So that was the USP that I wanted to bring to the table, right? And because if I could do it for myself, why can't I do it for someone else?
Absolutely.
Right? And with the proof of concept that I had this year, I said, you know what, let me create an ad. But what I did differently was that instead of getting people to watch my masterclass, I created a short 7-minute video on Facebook directly to speak about, addressing the pain points and what is possible and how the high ticket system works in a 7-minute video. And I published the ad in June, the first week of June. And guess what happened? My ad account got disabled.
Shocking.
Yeah, and then obviously because I think I like to believe that I have a good relationship with Facebook's concierge service because of the amount of spend over the course of time. Not a lot, but still they were able to reverse it, but it took like a week. And in that 1 week, I was like so frustrated. I was like every day following up with them and trying to figure out why is this happening, because my entire business was relying on that ad.
Exactly.
Okay? So I was going all in with that, and it was very well crafted and scripted, and like it just felt right to post it directly as a video. And what started happening was that I started to get calls booked directly after people watching that video, and these were calls from people who were really like at a professional level, experienced people, coaches from different domains. Much more senior to me, most of them, and they were booking a call with me. So I was like, wow, like if I'm able to attract the attention of people who normally would not, like probably take action on this, then I must be doing something right. And then obviously when, they started booking a call with me, then, obviously what I've learned in viewability, and I've also refined my conversation. Now, in the beginning, it was, following a script and having a sheet of paper over here in 2020, but now it's just having a conversation. It's very natural. I don't, anybody who's spoken to me on a consultation will tell you that I have no agenda to sell you anything. No agenda whatsoever. I deliver value, and if we resonate, if we connect, if what I have to offer is in alignment to what you require at that point in time, then it's a match. Then we go ahead. It's as simple as that. So It's all about having a conversation and demonstrating your value and understanding your potential clients' needs and requirements. And if there is a problem that you can solve, then hey, well and good. And the best part is that when I started running this video ad and I got my first client, okay, it was my highest ticket size. Okay, and that completely, because I'm providing a done for you service with so many benefits and incentives. It's an overall package where you just.
How much did you charge them?
So I charged 1.5.
Nice, man.
And that was just like I was like on cloud nine. I was
starting from 5,000 rupees to 1.5.
No, 2,000 rupees.
2,000 rupees. Damn, man.
1.5. So that was an amazing experience, and then I kept getting on calls. And now the thing was that I had to pivot and change the way I was speaking, because it's different when you're offering coaching and it's different when you're offering a service which is very premium, right? So then accordingly it was, I don't expect someone to take out their credit card or, send a 1.5 directly. So obviously in part payments, but for someone to commit to that, it validated my offer more importantly. That what I'm offering is being validated because someone has paid me for this.
Exactly.
That was what I was looking for. Okay. And then in the course, so June, July, and now August. So since I launched my ad in June, so I'm touching 10 lakhs in revenue.
Wow, man. Congratulations, bro.
Thanks, man. And that for me is it's like it's the success that I feel now that I have not felt before. It's
Yeah,
a whole
man.
new level, and it took me a while to let it sink in that this was actually happening. And it also, what happened is that in that span of from 15th June to 15th July, I did approximately in 30 days I did 7 lakhs.
Wow, man.
And that's almost like $10,000, right, in 30 days. And
Exactly.
when you start out on this internet marketing journey,
The
that
goal is
number
to
is
make 10K.
10K a month, 10K a month. And I was like,
I did it.
see, yeah, I know. I know. And then when that feeling, I was like, did this really happen? Like, is this a reality? And then first of all, I just looked back at the journey that I had had and what it has taken to get me to this point. And I was excited, but I was so humbled and emotional, more importantly, that it's taken me this long, okay, to reach a point where I can finally do something that is in alignment with what I'm amazing at, I'm super confident with, undoubtedly, and that resonates with the right people. And I'm so grateful to my clients, because they've become like a part of a family where it goes beyond just the agreement and the contract. It's more about being there for them and helping them supercharge their success to the next level. So I've built some amazing quality relationships with these clients which I've never had so intensely and intimately before. And it's amazing that it's an output and result of my working relationship and not like a personal relationship. Like it's amazing, and I love what I do. I love building things. Like I'm sure you will resonate with me over there. Like I actually love building things and helping people. When they have the credibility and they have the experience and they don't really know how to monetize it, they don't want to go through any course or join any mentor. They just want someone to do it for them who understands them in the best possible way and can represent that in the best possible way. And that gives me great joy because it's like all that I had to go through since the day I started the webinars, the failures one after the other, it led me to the point where I can value my success. If it was given to me like overnight success, then I probably would have been a egotistical maniac.
Mm-hmm.
But I really am really humbled by the turn of events that happened in the past few months, that it's actually for the first time in my life, like it made me feel like this is what it feels like to be successful, after a
Yeah.
really long time. And to have that financial confidence, more importantly, to have that profitability, it comes with responsibility. To work with clients who pay you a lot more, it comes with responsibility. But that responsibility, that level of commitment is where I've raised my standards to the point where I can have those relationships with those people, and I can demand premium prices, and I can deliver premium, results to people and solutions. And I'm just really humbled and blessed and grateful. And obviously, this all wouldn't have been possible without your ability. That's the seed that was sowed in 2020. And this is like, it's all connected. Your whole journey is connected. Every event is connected to the next one. It all depends on the energy and the intention you bring, and how focused you are on the vision you want to create for your life.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. The mindset plays a really important role. If you decide that you can do something, you will do it. If you decide to give up, then it's your decision. At the end of the day, you got to live with that decision. So I've been through so many roller coaster rides that it came to the point where I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to give up. Like that's it. But I kept powering through, kept powering through. I met you, I kept powering through, and then like today it just feels surreal. And this is just the beginning, because my ambition is way ahead, and way bigger. But just to know that I could accomplish this gives me that confidence to accomplish so much
Even
more,
more. Mm-hmm.
so much more. So I'm really filled with a lot of gratitude, that it has taken me this much time to achieve this, but this is only the beginning, and I'm excited to create some amazing results for my clients. I'm excited to show them the possibilities in reality, and to work with more exciting people in the future. So yeah,
Wow, man! Like super proud of you, honestly.
thanks.
Like, and it's truly an inspiring story, man, for anybody watching this, and even for me. Like, a lot of lessons I could learn from you, as I've said like previously in the past as well. Romit, tell me something. So just so that I can clarify this. In case anybody is like, "Oh, this is fake. This is some scam going on." So what we have to talk about is, since you're saying from June till what date and how much exactly do you do? Like, if you could like break it down.
So break it down in total. I've done 10 lakhs.
Right. So from June till August, is that correct?
Yeah, till August.
Wow, man. Like June, July, August. That's like 3 months you did 10 lakhs. Pretty easy stuff, man. Nice. And 30 days you said you did like 10K. And bro, I can like relate to that because I remember when I had my first 10K because, I was like, oh yeah, this is like this milestone that we have to achieve because that's what we see on the internet. But bro, super proud of you and congratulations again. And bro, like one more thing I want to touch on
Yeah.
is in this 10 lakhs that you've earned, right, during this short span of time, how much of it was, not, I mean, I won't say like how much, but like, did you invest everything back on ads like how you were breaking even before? And did you get like, a lot of fancy software for which you have to pay the bills? Because, I want to clarify that because a lot of people will be like, oh, that's like breaking even again.
No. Actually, my average return on advertising spend is approximately 8x.
Wow, man. Sweet.
So I obviously, look at reinvesting more in ads because to generate more calls, obviously, based on my bandwidth. But I've not invested in any tools, any softwares, anything extra at all. I
Right.
have, I have honestly, this is my funnel right now where I have the masterclass in place. Okay, but what I'm doing differently is that I've created a video on Facebook. People directly book a call. It's Calendly. Okay, so I'm only paying for Calendly and I'm paying for Active Campaign, which is what I learned from Uability. And then I get them on Zoom. So I pay for Zoom, which again is a necessity. And that's about it. I
Right.
don't use any other tool or software. And obviously my entire website is built on WordPress.
Right. Got it.
So even use ClickFunnels or anything of that matter.
Yeah, that's like one thing I want to touch upon because earlier you were paying for all these softwares. How were you able to like reduce your expenditure to like almost none? And like what exactly happened in that area?
So if I'm prior to Uability, I was investing in a webinar software, email marketing software, um, Zapier, um, uh, landing page, which is ClickFunnels, ClickMagic, which is a link tracking software, Teachable, which is the LMS platform, and I'm quite sure I'm missing one or two more. So I was practically spending 22,000 rupees a month.
As a beginner, when you were not
Yeah,
even, getting any returns on ads.
yeah, and now I spend I think 8,000.
Wow. And you
Yeah,
make a lot more than what you were making before, right?
yeah.
Wow, man. So that's like another shift that's happened. Romit, two things I want to discuss with you, considering that you have been like, part of like, I would say like you've seen it all, like kind of, right? And now considering that you do this work for other people, I want to know your perspective. Between these 5 day classes, webinars, and the high ticket funnel or whatever, what do you think is like working, or where do you see like the trend is, or what should like a coach who's maybe watching this video, what should they do?
First of all, they should get real experience with real results, get proof of concept organically,
Hmm.
and then identify what their goals are.
Hmm.
If they want to go with masses and build a community of tens of thousands of people, then by all means, go and do the 5 day workshop and go and build multiple levels, right? That works, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you have clear goals to work with a select few, pay you more because they want to pay more attention, they're serious about the transformation and they want to get those results, then focus on building your high ticket funnel, because that will allow you to be more creative in terms of providing maximum value, because there is no cap limit. If you have someone in level 1, level 2, level 3, then there is a bias towards people who are in level 1 because they paid only this much, a bias towards people who are in level 2 because they paid only that much. So your attention also is structured in a very, in a way that your value also is distributed accordingly. It's just too time consuming and draining. And if you are really good at what you do, then why undervalue yourself with a 99 or 499? You know, like why not just like create a premium offer that delivers a tangible result through a signature course of action that you can create, and focus on people who are in a position to pay premium. And I have this belief that there's a criteria of who is a high ticket client should fulfill the triple A criteria, which is number one, they should be able to afford you, they should appreciate your value, and they should apply what you teach them. That's a high ticket client right there, because all the people who are buying 99, 499 workshops, they're binging like as if they're watching a show on Netflix. They're just paying, and the person who pays you 99 is not going to be the person who pays you 50,000, 60,000, 1 lakh, whatever it is. So it all boils down to your goals. If you're a coach and you want to become like, the coach of the masses, maybe then that strategy will work for you. But you need to have a team to support you and support all those thousands of people. You can't be a solopreneur and be have a community of 10,000 people, right? But if you're very clear that you want to work with people who are serious, committed, qualified, they want to invest in their solution and results, and you only want to work with those handful of people every month, where that joy of fulfillment that comes is when somebody actually takes action. They appreciate what you are doing, and most important of all, they are investing themselves, because when someone is invested, they're committed, then you know that you can go all out as a coach to help them achieve their goal. There is no bias. Oh no, you paid me only this much, I can't help you. If you want my one-to-one support, then you have to pay me much more. We're living in the attention economy. People are growing smart. They know at the end of the webinar there's going to be an offer. They know at the end of a 5-day workshop there's going to be an offer. So amongst this surge of offers and coaches and Facebook ads, to really differentiate yourself, you need to have something that's worthy of someone's attention. For that, you need to understand what experience do you have, what proof of concept do you have, how can you offer something to the marketplace in a better way, in a fashion that you can charge more, because charging more is nothing but a limiting belief. If you keep something valuable, then as long as the value of what you're charging is more than what the price you are charging, and there is no discrepancy there, you can charge as much as it's justified by the value you're providing. I get a coach saying that, oh, why will someone pay me 15,000 also? Why will someone pay me 20,000 rupees also? So I share my story with them that I went through the same thing, and then I realized that if you do things the right way and you make the right offer to the right people, then people will pay you. Like right
even
now.
1.5 lakhs.
Yeah, and recently 1.8 lakhs.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like it's all about the value. Like it's very easy for someone to say, oh, like I want to charge 5 lakhs. I don't care what you want to charge. Is it justified by the value that you're providing in comparison to what you're charging? If yes, then yes, go and validate it. But don't charge more just because you want to make more money. To make more money, you got to create more value for yourself and what you do. So it's a value game. And those who are doing workshops, see, I have nothing against anyone doing workshops or webinars. However, it's a very long journey. It's a marathon. It takes a lot of time. You have to nurture. And the worst part of it all is that your time is going in nurturing possibly the wrong audience. Your time is going in nurturing an audience who's paid 99 to 499. And the only reason you are charging that is so that they take the next step. That's the only thing. Why go through multiple steps? If you're so confident in what you're offering, why go through that process? Because there are people out there, they don't have the patience to go through a 5-day workshop. They don't have the patience to show up for a 90-minute webinar. They just want to get on the phone and speak to the right coach and understand how they can take the next step towards achieving their goal. There's a huge market for people like that.
What do you say to people who are like, oh, but Romit, I don't want to get on the phone. I don't want to do that stuff.
Everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die. You
Yeah.
know? So if you want to charge high ticket, you have to get on the phone. I
Hmm.
mean, by phone, I mean Zoom,
Yeah.
okay? Because how will someone know, why will someone take out, their credit cards or make a payment to you if you've not demonstrated that value?
Hmm.
Like, and when you get on a one-to-one, then it's more personalized.
Exactly.
When you're doing a webinar, then it's one to many. You don't understand the situation and challenges of each person in the webinar, right? It's like, hey guys, the value of this is 1 lakh, but I'm going to give it to you for 5,000 rupees. Like,
Only if you buy it in 10 minutes. Otherwise, this
yeah,
timer will explode.
like so it's become a gimmick, to be honest.
Yeah.
And what I love about the high ticket funnel, obviously, and I the joy that I get from building it for my clients is the fact that it's very clear, no
Hmm.
nonsense, right? Simple yet so effective.
Hmm.
And as long as you have all the right pieces of the puzzle in place, you can build a masterpiece out of your business.
Yeah. That's very true. And I think like the last thing that I would like to add to this is, in my opinion, mostly it's not your funnel. Like chances are like, maybe any other funnel could work as well. It's mainly your offer and what you can deliver to your clients. So if you're lacking conviction in that and you don't have what it takes to offer a great product or a service, then I think, you're just going to die anyway. So no point talking about funnels. I think
Exactly.
Romit, this was like a great interview, man. Like, really appreciate you doing this. Anyone watching this video, maybe they are interested in getting any one of these funnels developed or something. What's the best way to get in touch with you, man?
So if anybody wants to get a high ticket funnel designed, built, and optimized for them with the power of Facebook ads, and don't want to go through another course and get lost and confused and not get the right support from that particular person or coach, then I am the right fit for that person because I will do it for you. It's a done for you service. And the best way to get in touch with me would be to go straight to my website. That's romitjethwani.com, or you can just Google me.
Sweet, man. So what I'll do is I'll take this information from Romit and I'll put it in the description below. Anybody interested, go check out this man. Obviously, he's really talented at what he does. He has so much experience, and that's why he has clients giving him such premium amounts. So if he does have bandwidth, go check him out, man, and like literally take his advice or help. I'm sure he will help you out. So, Romit, thanks again for doing this, man. Last question I have for you before you go, man. If anybody watching this video, let's say they are on the fence, they are deciding that, should I join this UAbility? Would it work for me or would it not? Or should I just pay money? Like, what would you like to say to them? Like, what are your 2 cents to them?
So anybody's on the fence to join UAbility,
Yeah.
get off the fence and join UAbility. That's it. Like, why are you on the fence? Like, it is a privilege to be a part of the UAbility elite community, and you should consider yourself lucky if you're accepted into the community. And if you're on the fence, then the only best advice I would give you is when you do get off the fence with 100% conviction, knowing that it is going to work for you. Do not leave any room for doubt. If you have any doubt, speak to Rohan or speak to one of the UAbility members and clarify that doubt, because this is a community of winners. And if you have what it takes to be a winner, and if you're excited to become one, then this community is for you. Otherwise, maybe not for you. Then you can go on the other side of the fence.
Absolutely, man. I remember you making this comparison once. Elite is like this Delhi's posh club or something. I forgot what you said. Do you
Yeah.
remember it?
I don't remember obviously what I said, but the UAbility elite is it's a posh community of cool people who hang out, make a lot of money, and create a lot of value, not just in India but internationally.
Yeah.
So a big I would like to take this moment to say thank you to you, Rohan, for having this vision when
Thanks,
you
man.
were much smaller, and to carrying forward it in spite of your age, in spite of what other people would think, and to kind of pioneer, a new way of doing business. And you've created so many amazing coaches and consultants along the way. The testimonials speak for itself. So there should be no reason why someone shouldn't be a part of Viewability. If and it really it's a family more than anything. It's a community of people who are there for each other at all times, and that culture is what really makes Viewability so unique, because everyone is there for everyone. There is no ulterior motive or hidden agenda. If you have a question, you post it in the group, you get an answer, and it won't always be by Rohan or Pratham or anyone else. It will be from someone else in the community, and it's a growing community. It's all the people are great people to get to know and learn from, and it really is a privilege to be a part of Viewability Elite. It's definitely transformed the way I do business, and I wouldn't have been where I am if it wasn't for Viewability. So thank you, Rohan, for enforcing this vision that you had.
Thanks, man. Really appreciate it, Romit, and you're crushing it, bro. And soon, like, I'm sure these results would amplify even more. And don't mind if I bother you for another interview.
Absolutely, brother.
All right, cool.
Thank you so much.